From the studio's election yard here, as we are talking about British politics. We don't talk about British politics a whole lot here, but when we do, it's usually when something big happens, and something big did happen on February the 26th. They had a by-election up in Gorton and Denton, which is in Greater Manchester, and Labour, who won the seat by a significant margin in their landslide in the 2024 general election, have lost it on a massive swing. The Green Party, Hannah Spencer, are the winners in Gorton and Denton. So let's take a look at the results. So you'll notice there are a lot of votes on the screen here, and this is because there were actually more raw votes cast in this by-election than there were in the 2024 general election, which is quite something. I mean, the turnout wasn't exactly robust. Back in 2024, it was about 46%. It ticked up to about 47% in this one with some more raw votes. But you'll see the Green Party winning it kind of with ease. Almost 15,000 votes for Hannah Spencer. But you'll notice here, the Reform Party came in second, just over 10,000 votes. Labour, who got 50% of the vote in this constituency a year and a half ago, are down to 25% here. And the Conservatives, I'm sure there was some tactical voting going on. The Conservatives don't even manage to get 2%. And you don't see the Lib Dems there. They came in fifth. Unfortunately, you don't see Sir Oink-a-Lot of the Monster Raving Loony Party because he finished further back, but he did not come in last. And I am happy to say he did not come in last. But yeah, the Green Party winning. So this election campaign certainly was very interesting, got a lot of attention. So there was some talk about the Green Party releasing ads in the Urdu language. That certainly got some attention. There was some chatter during the vote count and after the vote count that there were observers who noticed so-called family voting going on. Now, family voting, very simply, is when more than one person goes into a booth and they're going back and forth and they're conferring and they're voting together. You're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be one person per voting booth, and that is the law in the UK. And there were some alleged incidents, and then there was some talk about, well, when was it reported and who was it reported to? And I think that's going to be a back and forth that continues. However, at the end of the day, I think if it were a close result, I think there probably would have been some crying foul, but whereas it wasn't close, I still think that's going to be looked into. And there were certainly a number of stories run about it as we approached the declaration in Gorton and Denton. So I think that is going to continue to be a topic of conversation with the family voting up there in Gorton and Denton. As far as what it means for the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, things are not looking too good for him. Now, as I sat here about a year ago, of course, we wouldn't have known that there was going to be a crucial by-election in Greater Manchester on February 26, 2026. I would have thought, if I was thinking, like, what could be Keir Starmer's Waterloo? I was thinking it was going to be the local elections in May. Because with the way the public opinion polling is going in the UK, certainly does not look like Labour is going to do well in those local elections, and that was going to kind of be the fork in the road for Labour and for Keir Starmer. Well, this result was sufficiently poor. We'll put it back up on the screen. A 26% swing to the Greens from Labour. Voters were abandoning Labour in droves, and I think you're going to hear the noise start to get louder. Now, Keir Starmer, obviously, I don't think he wants to go anywhere, and I think he's willing to fight. However, I think the noise from within the party is going to get louder. Do I think he'll still be around next week as Prime Minister? I do. I don't know if it's that imminent, but I think Labour getting clubbed pretty good in the local elections is looking more and more likely. And then at that point, I think they got a 5-alarm fire on their hands, which will, of course, be for the Labour Party to decide and for Keir Starmer to decide. But yeah, I mean, you look at these results, you go from a seat that you won going away, over 50% of the vote, now you're in third place. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And they got a lot of questions to ask themselves. There were As I heard in the reporting today, there were left-wing politicians like George Galloway and Jeremy Corbyn that got involved trying to help the Green Party candidate win. It's obvious that Labour lost quite a bit of vote share here. So this does have a sizable minority of South Asians. So that's part of why you saw an ad from the Green Party in Urdu. And it's pretty clear, though, from results like this, that it's not just one group of people that's abandoning Labour at this point. Labour seems to be bleeding support from all sides. So they're in for a tough time, I think. And as for the Greens, obviously they're going to be happy about winning this by-election. I don't know if their success here can necessarily be replicated in other parts of the country, but I'm sure they'll take the win and move on. As for Reform, I had seen the opinion polling going into this, which suggested that this was a two-party race between Reform and the Greens, and it really was more of a battle for second between Reform and Labour. The Greens, again, I think tactical voting might have also been a factor, but the Greens ended up doing pretty well. And Reform, obviously they would have liked to win this one. But hey, at least at the end of the day, they're not the Tories getting 1.9%. So it was a big by-election, and there's going to be fallout from it. And for more on that, stick around at Election Yard, like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. We'll see you soon.